When my bus hissed to a stop, the driver whispered, "End of the line." I stepped off into a town drowned in fog and silence. The bus doors slammed shut and it sped away without passengers. I felt watched. If you're here, stay with me until the very end, because something in this town wants to be known.
The streets stretched endlessly, yet every building looked abandoned. Lights flickered inside, though no electricity seemed to run. A sign reading, "No exits," swung slowly despite the air being still. My phone showed no service, only a strange message. "Welcome back." I had never been here before.
I tried walking toward the town's edge, but after minutes of moving straight, I ended up back at the bus stop. The same cracked bench, the same flickering lamp. It was as if the town folded around me. A shadow slid behind a corner, glancing back with something like curiosity.
A faint humming rose from beneath the ground. The concrete vibrated under my feet as if something massive shifted below the streets. I followed the hum to a house with its door half open. Inside, a warm orange glow pulsed like a heartbeat. My instinct screamed no, but curiosity pushed me in. The living room was neat, dustless, lived in. A cup of tea steamed on a table, though no one was there. A framed photo sat beside it, showing me, same clothes, same backpack, standing on the porch of this very house. My hands trembled. I hadn't taken that picture. I hadn't even been inside before.
A soft voice whispered my name from upstairs, slow, drawn out, as if testing how it sounded. I climbed the stairs despite the weight pressing on my chest. On the second floor, a hallway stretched impossibly far. Doors multiplied on each side, all slightly ajar, all breathing out cold air.
I opened one door. Inside was a child's bedroom, exactly as I remembered from my childhood. Same posters, same broken toys, same window view. But I had never lived here. A small figure sat on the bed, back turned. When I blinked, it vanished, leaving only the depression on the mattress. Each door revealed another fragment of my life. My old school, my grandmother's kitchen, a bus interior from years ago. Memories I had forgotten or tried to forget. But in each room, something was slightly off. Colors wrong, angles warped, shadows moving where no light reached.
At the end of the hall, a final door glowed faint blue. It opened before I touched it. Inside was a dark mirror, taller than me, its surface rippling like water. My reflection smiled, though I didn't. Then it stepped out of the glass, leaving the mirror empty and cold.
My double examined me with unblinking eyes. "You returned," it said softly. "You always do." I stumbled backward, racing out of the house and into the fog. The doors slammed behind me in quick succession, as if the house itself breathed out in frustration.
The streets now shifted each time I blinked. Buildings rearranged themselves. Lamps bent like twisted bones. A figure in a long coat stood at the intersection, pointing toward an alley. When I approached, he dissolved into smoke, leaving a trail of footprints leading deeper inside.
The alley walls pulsed like flesh, closing around me. Whispers crawled over my skin, names I didn't know, dates I didn't recognize. A door appeared at the end, carved with symbols that rearranged constantly. I pushed through, emerging into the town square under a blood-tinted sky.
A crowd gathered, half-real silhouettes flickering like broken projections. They stared without eyes, mouths open in silent screams. In the center stood a clock tower with no hands, chiming endlessly though frozen in time. Each chime reverberated through my ribs.
A woman stepped from the crowd, her movements jerky, puppet-like. "You shouldn't have come alone," she said. Her face flickered between several others, some mine, some strangers. She reached out a trembling hand, but before touching me, she crumbled into ash, scattered by unseen wind.
I ran into a diner, hoping for shelter. Inside, neon lights buzzed violently. A waitress stood behind the counter, her uniform spotless. She poured coffee, though the pot was empty. "Sit," she commanded. I obeyed, unsure why. The coffee cup filled itself with thick, black liquid.
I leaned in. The liquid reflected scenes of the town burning, collapsing, reshaping endlessly. Then I saw myself walking toward the diner door, except I hadn't moved. My coffee reflection reached out of the cup, fingers dripping ink, trying to grab my wrist. I shoved the cup away. The waitress finally blinked, her eyes rolling backward. "The town feeds on loops," she rasped. "It wants stories it can rewrite." Before I could ask more, her body twisted violently, folding into itself until nothing remained but her apron on the floor. Outside, the fog thickened to the point of choking. Shapes swam within it, elongated limbs, gaping jaws, whispering mouths. I pushed through until I reached a rusted bus stop map. Except it wasn't a map anymore. It showed branching timelines labeled with impossible dates. One branch glowed faintly. A handwritten note beside it read, "Choose this if you want to leave." My pulse hammered. I touched it, and a shockwave blasted outward. The fog parted, revealing a staircase descending beneath the road, illuminated only by trembling white light. The stairs led deep underground into a subway station long abandoned. Tracks lay twisted like veins. A train approached silently, headlights dim and unfocused. The doors opened, revealing rows of empty seats, and one figure sitting at the back, shrouded in darkness. I stepped in. The doors sealed shut instantly, and the train lurched forward. Lights flickered, revealing glimpses of the figure, sometimes human-shaped, sometimes monstrous, sometimes gone entirely. At last it leaned forward. "You still don't remember, do you?" it whispered. The train began to melt around us, metal dripping like wax. I clawed my way into the next car, finding it filled with discarded memories, school notebooks, broken gifts, lost IDs, all mine. A recording played from nowhere, my own voice screaming for help. I stumbled to the final car. Windows showed endless horizon. No tracks, no ground, just void. A giant eye blinked outside, watching the train as if inspecting a toy. "This town was built from you," the figure said behind me. "It reflects what you ran from." The train derailed into darkness. I woke on a rooftop overlooking the entire town. Buildings pulsed like organs, streets twisted into spirals. At the center was the glowing house I entered earlier. A voice from the sky echoed, "Return to where the story began." I climbed down, legs shaking. The house's door was wide open now, inviting. Inside, the rooms no longer mimicked my past. They showed futures, ones where I stayed, ones where I never escaped, ones where I became something not quite human. The mirror room awaited me, its surface swirling violently. My reflection, no, my other self, stood inside it, pounding on the glass. "Let me out!" it cried. "You left me here last time." I stepped closer, unable to recall what it meant.
The glass cracked. My double's hand shot through, grabbing my wrist with freezing force. "We are part of the loop," it hissed. "Break it, or become me." The mirror began sucking us both inward, pulling my memories apart thread by thread.
I fought back, slamming my other self into the frame. The mirror shattered, releasing a scream that shook the entire town. Buildings collapsed like sand castles. A rift opened beneath the house, swallowing everything in trembling darkness.
I fell into a void of stars and forgotten moments. Voices echoed. My own multiplied. "Choose," they demanded. Images flashed, the glowing branch on the map, the bus arriving, me stepping off. Then another version, me refusing to enter the town.
I reached toward the second version, desperate to rewrite what had happened. A hand stopped me, my double again, calmer now. "You can't erase the town," it said, "but you can leave it behind." It pointed to a faint doorway forming in the void. I pushed toward the doorway, feeling resistance like thick mud. The town screamed around me, trying to pull me back. Streets reformed, hands reached, memories clawed at my skin. But I kept moving, forcing myself through the thinning barrier.
Light flooded my vision. I stumbled onto a quiet morning road. Birds sang. I was alone. The bus stop behind me was empty, clean, ordinary. My phone buzzed, real service this time. But one notification remained. "You left, but you will return." I walked towards civilization, checking constantly behind me. The town was gone. No fog, no buildings, no signs. Just open landscape. Relief washed through me, but dread lingered. I couldn't shake the feeling that the town still watched from somewhere just beyond sight. That night, as I settled into my motel room, the humming returned beneath the floorboards. My bathroom mirror rippled like water, and when I looked closer, my reflection smiled again, without me. "Welcome back," it whispered, tapping the glass from the other side.
And that's where my story ends, for now. If you want to hear more twisted tales like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me what you think happened to me next. Your support keeps the horrors coming. And trust me, the town has much more to reveal.